And now we open up the box. Agentic commerce unlocked. What is our industry doing already? And what's the near-term future? AI use cases redefining travel. I really like this just because it comes from the heart of our industry. We have a B2B view, we have a B2C view. We have all in. And we start with meta search again, but from a quite different approach, I would say. And yeah, we will have a holistic approach. It will reduce complexity, I can tell you already. Please welcome on stage Pierro Sierra, the Chief AI Officer at Skyscanner. Pierro, the stage is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, everybody. I guess, yeah, this is slightly better. Thank you. And can you see the screen? There we go. Hi, so I'm Pierro Sierra. I'm the Chief AI Officer at Skyscanner. And I am a tech guy, so I'm actually quite happy to be here in the basement with all the other tech nerds as opposed to the fancy DMO people upstairs. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Skyscanner and how we see agentic commerce evolving. It's obviously a journey. Nobody knows anything, but we're on it, and we're very excited to share some of that with you today. So I'll start by really anchoring this on Skyscanner's mission, which has remained unchanged. Our goal is to be the #1 travel ally for planning, for inspiration, and for deals. And so we've always wanted to do that. And putting the traveler first is very much part of our ethos. We say traveler first, partner second, Skyscanner third. And it's not just a motto at Skyscanner, it's actually part of our business model. It's why we have been successful. I know it's a little corny to say, but it is actually very, very important for us. And on the back of that, we've had quite a bit of success. Skyscanner is now a very global brand. We have 160 million monthly active users, and we are known for flight search, so flight search engine. But we're also expanding into hotels, cars. We've just launched packages, and we're basically a meta search in the industry term. And at this point, we account for maybe 23% of all the flight searches in the world. We're #1 in most markets in the world, in EMEA and APAC, in Latin America. And we're growing in the US and Canada, since that's a fairly newer market for us. But we're growing pretty fast. And all of this success has really been based off a very, very simple USP. We do a lot of things, but this is the thing that we do best. We simply have all the world's best flights, prices, and deals. We have the real-time airline prices from every airline in the world. We have the real-time OTA prices from every OTA in the world. And then our marketplace is now big enough that we're able to command some unique prices that are available only on our marketplace. And you put that together, and I think we can safely say we genuinely do have the best flight prices in the world. And because these flight prices, for those of you who are not in the flights industry, they are calculated in real time dynamically. So it's actually a very difficult problem that AI doesn't magically make go away. It's a key ingredient for AI to be successful. And I'll tell you a little bit about what we think about that. But stepping back a little bit, AI is the big story for the past year and a half, but I started off as a software engineer, and when I was in college, I wrote a neural network that did handwriting recognition, and I got so excited. I thought, oh my God, neural networks, this is a computer that can learn. This is the most exciting technology ever. I'm definitely going to go use this in the real world. This was in 1997, because I'm extremely old. And when I graduated, basically crickets. I worked at Microsoft for 20 years, nothing, no machine learning, no AI. Moved to Skyscanner, a lot of machine learning, but no real generative AI. And I was, I guess, surprised. But I'm like a kid in a candy store with what's happening next. And so one of my jobs at Skyscanner is to really make sure that everybody in the company thinks of it as the biggest opportunity ever in travel, maybe since the internet and mobile phones. This is the next big one. And for travel especially, AI is especially good at travel because it helps us. I think everybody says this, but it's true. We get to understand the travelers better. We get to understand how no two travelers are the same, but more importantly, how no two trips are the same. And whatever they are trying to accomplish varies, and it's often a lot more than to, from, number of passengers. And so we can ask users in English or whatever they want and answer in much richer terms. So it's very, very exciting. So we set up the AI strategy at Skyscanner about a year and a half ago. And we decided very clearly not to make AI a division. So we don't have an AI team, an AI tribe, a separate thing. AI is something everybody does. Obviously, we're very engineering heavy, but even outside of engineering, all of our disciplines lean into AI. And our strategy kind of cuts across all of that in sort of a virtual way. And it's a very simple strategy. It's got 3 parts. travel innovations, internal productivity, and strategic partnerships. And all of this, we very much believe that AI can put meta especially on steroids. If you think about it, AI is search. When you're in, let's say, ChatGPT asking a question, you're really doing a very, very fancy form of search. When we say meta, that is just a fancy word for travel search. So the opportunity to really amplify what meta can do with AI is very big. So I'll walk you through some of the travel innovations that we've launched and some of the ones that we see coming. This is by no means comprehensive. Everybody's doing different things. Your mileage may vary. I'll start with what I consider base camp. So base camp level 1 is when you basically say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm one slide behind. Base camp level 1 is when you think about the current product as you currently know it, but maybe with AI helping a little bit. So in our case, for example, if you're in our hotels funnel, we have reviews, not just from one partner, but we have reviews from 30 or 40 partners that are all giving us hotel reviews. And we make those available to the user. Well, AI can just read those and summarize them. That's actually, at this point, very basic. This is not a very advanced use of AI. But this kind of little AI touch throughout the experience leads to trust. One example I'm quite excited about is up in the upper right corner. You will see our machine learning algorithm sorts flights, and we decide what the best flight is, and we put it at the top. But we don't tell you why. So now what we do is we have an AI reverse engineer why the machine learning model sorted that particular flight to the top and translate that into English. So in this case, it says, this flight is just saves you 2 hours, and it's only 14 pounds more. So it's definitely a good choice, and that's why we're recommending it. Now, it hasn't changed the recommendation. The recommendation is still the same. But by highlighting why we did it, we increase trust, we have happier travelers, and we increase conversion as well. So that's good for our partners, and it's good for Skyscanner. So this, I think, everybody's doing, which is sprinkling AI across their existing experiences, level 1. Level 2 is I think of it as workflow copilots, but maybe it's easier to just say chatbot. I probably should have just said chatbot. So chatbot is really nice because it's very open-ended. You can ask any questions you want. Skyscanner has launched many chatbots across the entire experience. In the bottom here, you see one of our chatbots called Ask Skyscanner that is at the top of the funnel, helping people get inspired. We have another chatbot in the middle of the funnel when you're maybe in hotels and you're asking hotels questions and wanting to know more about your hotels. In the upper right corners at the bottom of the funnel, when you found a car that you like, maybe you want to know about the insurance, you can bring up a chatbot and ask about the insurance. Now, these chatbots, they're not the best way to solve the problem. If insurance is a real problem for travelers, we could solve it in the traditional UI. But the nice thing about the chatbot is that we don't know what the problems are. We don't know why people didn't book that car. They got to the bottom of the funnel and they left. With the chatbot, they tell us, I'm looking for insurance. And then we go, okay, if there's a lot of people asking for insurance, maybe we need to make that more prominent in the experience. So it's a very good tool for learning. I also want to be clear that we heard very clearly from our users as we tested different approaches that we did not want to turn Skyscanner into a chatbot. Most of you probably have a chatbot in your lives, whether it's ChatGPT, Gemini, I'm using Claude quite a bit, whatever your favorite tool is. And that's good. It's very open-ended. It's kind of an overall search AI engine or answer engine. Those are cool. We don't want to replace them. Skyscanner still has to become a tool that is very good at comparison. And when you're searching for hotels, you really want to have an experiential. Hotels are not just boring. It's not like I want these many square meters and this is the price. You really want to have an experience. You want to see them. You want to browse them. So we want to create a rich browse experience, not just a chatbot. But chatbots can be a useful tool. The next level beyond this is new for us. We call it generative UI. So this is where we take a string from the user, a query, a complicated travel intent, and we generate a page in real time for that query. So we've started to do this with our new Explore AI feature. And the example here would be maybe you say, I want to go skiing in the Alps. Well, you said skiing, you said Alps. Maybe I need to show a map of the mountains. Maybe I need to show weather. Everybody wants to understand weather when they're doing this kind of search. Of course, I need to show you some chalets and some flights and some things. But that page didn't exist until you asked the question. And if you ask the question slightly differently, if you refine the question and you say, actually, I want the Italian Alps, which are much better food, by the way, we can adjust that, and we can maybe put a menu there or something like that. So dynamic UI in response to user query, I think, is the future in a lot of ways, not necessarily just chatbot. We've dipped our toes into this, but all this year, we're going to release new features in this direction because we think it's pretty exciting. And maybe the last kind of a way to think about user experience changes is agentic delegation. So this is where we either try to take the Skyscanner value into an agent experience, or we bring an agent into Skyscanner. Lots of work happening here, but I just wanted to show you one thing, which is last Friday, we released our ChatGPT app. So this is basically Skyscanner existing inside of ChatGPT. It's very cool. It's very simple. You just open up ChatGPT. You invoke Skyscanner by saying, hey, at Skyscanner, and maybe you ask a question like, find me a cheap winter sun destination in January. And so immediately you get answers, but this is Skyscanner UI inside of ChatGPT, and we're recommending Tenerife. Well, maybe Tenerife isn't quite warm enough for you, so now you want to ask a refinement question. And the nice thing is you can have this exchange with the AI. So in this case, you say, I'm actually looking for something warmer. We'll recommend Marrakesh, which is going to be much warmer during that time of year. We bring up the flight prices. Now, these are still estimated prices, but now you want to get specific. So maybe you say, actually price this for me, 7 days leaving Monday, or 7 nights. And as you type that in, again, the AI will just figure that out, give you an answer, you see the prices. And if you find the flight you want, well, hopefully you'll continue on to Skyscanner. So in this case, you click a link, you see the flight, but you'll also see the partners that sell the flight, because that's what Skyscanner does, and you redirect to the partner you want, and off you go. I think that said Ryanair is the redirect on that one. So that's the basic experience of the ChatGPT app. It's very new. It's very basic right now in terms of what it does, but we're going to continue to add to it. And again, like the chatbot, it's nice for us to have an experience where we can learn what people are asking of it and evolve it in real time. Great. I'm going to move much faster. In terms of unlocking AI, I'll just say internally we have built a platform to abstract the AI from our engineers. So our engineers do not have to worry about which model to use. I want a cheap, fast model that works in Korea. Done. We'll sort it out for you. So our engineers don't have to worry about that. And they've used that to ship features at breakneck pace. This is my favorite example, but we have a lot of these. This is one single engineer. Her name was Louise. She's passionate about football, and the World Cup is happening in the US. So she had this idea of a football finder where you could just enter your team, Brazil, and see all the games and find the flights and accommodations in that destination. She built this feature in hours using basically Claude Code and what we call spec-driven development. The PM team looked at that, the design team looked at that, they polished it up. That took a week because they are now the bottleneck, and we got it live, and this had 140 million viewers on it. So from idea to 140 million viewers in 1 week. The Skyscanner, we're not used to that. Things take longer than that. So all of a sudden, that's very exciting for us. Just an example of our platform in action. The third and last piece is the one that I'm most excited about, which is really for everybody here in this room, which is how can we work together on building AI experiences that are grounded in real data. So we have this problem on the horizon. If all of you have an agent, maybe a Claude bot sitting on a Mac Mini that is waking up every 2 or 3 hours and checking flight prices with all of the airlines and all of the OTAs in the world, that will not work. It's not how the industry works because these prices are calculated in real time and these companies have look-to-books that they need to protect. This is very, very expensive and it's not scalable. It's not good for the agents. It's an inefficient way to build the agents. It's also not possible for the flights industry especially to provide that kind of data. So Skyscanner has an engine that can serve for that need. And that engine is available. It's open. The APIs for this are available. So a single API, you get access to all of our flights, all of our hotels, all of our cars, and we're adding things to it like our packages. So it's a really powerful API. It's not just the live prices either. It's also intelligence built on top of those prices. Like when is the right time to book? You know, what is the user intent clustering on this? What's the elasticity of this particular route? We have a bunch of machine learning models, and you can simply access them via this API, so you can build even richer experiences. Effectively, what we're trying to do is to create the single set of APIs that you can build any agent on top of with any travel experience that you want. So here's a generic chatbot, but in this chatbot, you have a travel experience that you've built. Maybe you have a travel planner. Great. call these APIs, you get the real-time live prices, hotels prices, and insights that you need. There's a number of partners that are using this already. We're very excited about that. We have Microsoft, Samsung, Yahoo, some really big names. We also are very excited about startups because I think a lot of the innovation in travel AI is not going to come from the big companies. Layla is one example of that, but we have a number of startups connecting to our APIs and using them to be successful. So that's my final slide, is my call to action, is please come build with us. Scan this QR code, sign up. We have traditional REST APIs, so you can build more traditional user experiences if that's what you need. But if you have an agent, we have MCP APIs that you can use instead, because agents like to speak MCP. And with that, I hope we can build some really fun stuff together. Thank you.
Wow, Pierro, it was fast. Thank you so much. And we are just shifting. We have a wrap-up later. Yeah, we're just on time. And you said it's not getting complex. It's not a threat, it's a chance. But it sounds pretty complex. But anyway, we shift into B2B now. We have Amadeus, not known so far as the leading AI player, but in fact they are. And they have a link to digital marketing today. And please welcome Sergio Golia, the Vice President Strategy of the Travel Unit from Amadeus. Sergio, welcome here.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. So there you go. Let's wait for, here we go. Well, first of all, it's such a pleasure to be in front of a room full not only of, and simply of travel professionals, but of travel enthusiasts. And so that's the reason why I want to start with one point which I believe is true for each and everyone in this room. The strong belief that travel is one of the most magical things that a human being can experience, and yet one of the most complex industries in the world to run, isn't it? And that's exactly the reason why I want to start with this point. Now, listen. Today, I want to walk through a couple of use cases which I believe are gonna change agentic commerce and end-to-end. And I'm gonna throw myself a challenge. I'm gonna pick a couple of use cases that maybe can complement what you've heard so far this afternoon, and can show you how the experience of travel professional can shift, how can be more productive thanks to agentic AI, and how the experience of travelers can truly shift thanks to agentic commerce. And I throw myself a challenge. I will pick 2 use cases. I will try to show and demonstrate that to you under 3 minutes each. So wish myself luck, and let's have Dirk doing the timekeeper. So we said a very complex industry. There is a gap between that complexity and the traveler experience that those human beings want to experience, and that gap is exactly where today agentic AI is starting to enable something which is truly transformational. So let's look at it. And before getting into my challenge, let me share a few words about Amadeus. I'm sure that many of you know Amadeus, and maybe you know Amadeus even more than you think. If you flew here in Berlin, you probably used Amadeus technology to be boarded, as another over 2 billion travelers every year. And exactly as in this room, we have a team full of travel enthusiasts that every year every day try to make travel work better. And as you can imagine, more and more today, the focus is on how to use AI to make travel even better. AI is not new to us, as is not new to many of you, right? We are using it in this industry since decades for optimization of flight schedule, for dynamic pricing, to automate travel document processing. But it is true that generative and today agentic AI are really changing the game, right? The way travelers search, the way traveler wants to be served is completely shifting. And for all travel professionals like us, it's a huge opportunity. But still, now let me pump the brakes for a moment on the hype. Because there is a narrative out there that says it's enough to plug an AI-augmented chatbot and travel gets better. Well, guess what? It doesn't. It's not that easy, because travel is complex. Travel is complex because it's a chain of micro journeys in this highly interconnected and dynamic ecosystem. The challenge in 2026 is not anymore building a smart, clever AI. The challenge today is making it work in this dynamic ecosystem, making it reliable, making it sustainable. An AI that you can trust. And the way you acquire, the way you inspire, the way you support travelers requires AI solutions that are deeply integrated in agentic travel systems that are able essentially to use a secret sauce that has at least two ingredients. Number one, access to real-time data. And number two, access to systems that are truly agentic, systems that can take action, systems that can solve problems. Especially when the emotional and financial stakes are higher. No, we are in the middle of a disruption. There is a last-minute change. That's where you want your AI to be supporting your travelers and your operations. So the question we've been asking ourselves is the following. What if AI could absorb that complexity? And both for the people running the operations, running the show, and the travelers living through it. So how do we approach the problem? Through two dimensions. First, for travel companies, smarter tools that help your teams to work faster, to take better decisions, faster decisions, reduce the operational burden that you have so that you can focus, your people, our people, can focus on what humans do best, relationship, judgment, creativity. And for travelers, highly personalized conversational experiences that reduce that friction at every step of the journey so that AI can actually solve problems. Is it something that any company in this industry can solve alone? No, I don't believe so. It's a massive industry teamwork, and we need to work together to make it happen. That's why we are already working with so many of you in this room to make it happen, and more particularly with our strategic partners like Google and Microsoft, among others. And I believe that combining our travel tech deep domain expertise with their frontier AI technology is a winning combination. So let me now get into my challenge. Dirk, take the time. So let's start with travel companies. As I said before, I don't believe AI is there to replace what travel professionals do. That's not the point. AI is there to free up time for those travel professionals. So today, if you were there when Google presented how shopping and booking will change with agentic commerce, maybe today I will try to complement the picture, taking other moments in the traveler journey. Maybe something at the beginning of the traveler journey, in the acquisition of your customers, and something much later in the journey, when you need to service your customers. So let's start with the first one. Agentic AI for travel companies. So I picked something, as I said, at the beginning of the traveler journey, how you can use agentic AI to acquire easier your customers, to improve the way you do marketing, to increase the return on advertising spent. This is just one example among the many in which travel commerce turned agentic can make the difference for all of us traveler professionals. So voila, under 3 minutes. Let's see. I'll take the use case of a travel provider. I'm an airline, and I want to improve the return on advertising spent of my campaigns. So voila, I log in my agentic intelligence platform. Once logged in, I look at all the routes that I'm responsible for, and I can optimize. I could look at it one by one, or I can trust the AI that in the background is processing the load factor of my planes, the performances of my campaigns, the travel occupancy data, the hotel occupancy data, and then is already spotting 3 routes that I can optimize, where I can get more out of the money that I spend on advertising. So I'll pick one, Nice, Chicago. I can look at my dashboards as I would traditionally do, or I do something different. I look at what my AI assistant already prepared for me, a quantification of the opportunity and a set of suggested actions. And I decide to go with one of them. I create a marketing campaign, I optimize for the load factor of my planes and the return on advertising spent. The AI generates 2 campaign options with expected impact, channel attribution, budget. I can let the AI generate a brief for my marketing agency with everything that is needed for the agency to actually run the campaign. Or I can do something even different. I can go back and let AI run the campaign for me, generate the content, the messages, the images, preview it in my target sites. Or even better, run the campaign itself. I publish the campaign in whatever campaign manager I have. Here is a dummy one. I simulate some input traffic. And when I go back to my platform, I already have the data processed by the AI and the next step of next best action to continue to improve my return on advertising spent. Here you go, 2 minutes 30 to process the data, generate a campaign, and get an uplift on my advertising spent, which is double digit. First one, let's go to the second one. Agentic AI for travelers. So far it was the travel professional angle. Now let's flip the side and go to the traveler. The moment that matters the most today, a misconnection, a cancellation, a last-minute change, are also the moments in which there are the highest financial and emotional stakes. At the same time is the time where today's AI fall the shortest. Why? Because most of the AI solutions that we have today cannot really take action, cannot really solve problem. But today technology is mature to the point where we can do something that is much more than answer questions. A connecting, hence conversational AI capabilities to an underlying agentic system, a true agentic system, we can take action. So today, I will try to do what travelers will do as of tomorrow. Call my AI assistant to change my flight back from Berlin. And I'll try to do it live, since I'm a little crazy, in the most noisy and crowded place in Berlin, on speaker, which I'm sure is the brightest idea that I had this year. So wish me luck. All good?
Bonjour, je suis Ava, votre assistante de la compagnie aérienne Horizon. Quelle est votre langue préférée?
Can you switch to English, please?
I can help you with booking or changing flights. Thanks to your mobile phone, I see your name is Sergio Golia. Is that correct?
Yes, that's me. I'm calling because I want to change the departure date of one of my flights.
All right, let's get that sorted out. Can you tell me a bit more about what you need to change, like the new departure date you have in mind, or any other detail about the flight? That way we can move forward smoothly.
Yeah, I want to change my flight from Berlin.
Understood. Please hold on while I retrieve your bookings. This will just take a moment. Here are the first 2 bookings I found for you. From Berlin to Nice, departing on March 5th, 2026. 2, from Nice to Paris Charles de Gaulle, departing on April 3rd, 2026. Please let me know which booking you'd like to change.
Yeah, it's the Berlin to Nice, thank you.
Understood. Please hold on while I search for your reservation. What's the new departure date you'd like for your flight from Berlin to Nice?
I want to stay for the weekend, the weather is great. What about this coming Sunday?
Got it. You're looking to move your flight to this coming Sunday. Could you confirm the exact date for this Sunday so I can make sure we're on the same page?
Yes, that will be the 8th of March, thank you.
Please hold on while I retrieve the list of available flights for March 8th, 2026. Here are the available flights from Berlin to Nice on Sunday, March 8th, 2026. 1 departs at 9 a.m., duration 2 hours, non-stop, fare difference starting from €32.72. 2 departs at 2:30 p.m., duration 2 hours.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think I'll go with the morning flight, that's good enough.
Understood. Let's proceed with the morning flight departing at 9 a.m. Here are the fares available for that flight. 1. Economy fare. The price difference is 32 euros and 72 cents. 2. Business basic fare. The price difference is 105 euros and 81 cents. Which fare would you like to choose?
I'll go economy, thank you.
Just to confirm, I'll book you on the 9 a.m. flight with the economy fare for an additional 32 euros and 72 cents. Shall I go ahead?
Yes, please book it.
Please wait a moment while I create the rebooking for you. There's an additional 32 euros and 72 cents to be paid. Would you like to pay now using your stored credit card ending in 1019?
Yes, that's the card. And since you are at it, can you also confirm me if I will receive a summary via email?
The payment of 32 euros and 72 cents has been completed successfully. You will receive a summary via email at sergio.golia@amadeus.com. Here's a brief summary of your rebooking. You're now confirmed on the flight from Berlin to Nice, departing on March 8th, 2026 at 9 a.m. with the economy fare. If you need any more assistance, feel free to reach out. Thank you for choosing us and have a pleasant journey.
Thank you very much. That's been super useful. Oof. There you go. There you go. Simple, smart, contextualized, personalized. And maybe let me highlight a few things that you might have not seen in the demo because it was too short. Ava can read the room. If the traveler is stressed, she adapts. She doesn't push through a script. She responds to the human. She knows her limits. When something needs a human, because the stakes are too high, financially or emotionally, she hands it over elegantly to a human agent. And third, behind the scene, that rebooking triggered the coordinating chain of action, seat, baggage, any transfer that was connected to the booking, all updated automatically, invisible to the traveler, completely handled in under 3 minutes. This is 2026. It's not anymore 2025. It's not next year technology. This technology is available today. And this was just one moment inside a much larger traveler journey. Imagine what this AI can do if plugged 24/7, offering contextualized, personalized service to all your customers. This is what you can do today with Agentic AI. And behind that call, there was not one agent. Exactly like Google showed you in the Agentic commerce use case, you have a number of agents that are talking to each other to get the thing sorted. There is someone authenticating me. There is someone looking after the change. There is another agent that is processing the payment. And they are all collaborating together in an agentic architecture to get the job done. So let me conclude and close with one thought, and come back to where we started. Travel is complex. The complexity is not going away. Who carries it? That's what AI changes. And so today, we need to start to write the stories that will earn the loyalty of the next decade of our customers. And there is no one in this industry that can do it alone. So let's take full benefit of beautiful events like this one. Let's talk and connect to each other and start to build those stories together. Thank you very much.
Sergio Golia, thank you so much, Sergio.
Thank you.
And congrats for the new flight. Went smoothly. So we stay a little bit in mobility, and when a national train operator goes into AI, you can expect a lot of complexity, of course, just because there's a lot of trains running and high data volumes. So far, so good, but you can see also some inspiration. And let's explain this by Anne Pruvot, the CEO of SNCF Tech and Connect. Anne, the stage is yours.
So hello everyone. I hope that you're having a good ITB so far. On my side, I've met a lot of people. I've connected over dinners, informal gathering, been in a lot of sessions like this one. And it felt to me that I was much more in a tech conference than in a travel show. Because I've been listening and I've heard a lot of words like today, artificial intelligence, agentic AI, etc. And I'm sure that you have the same experience, and that's the reason why probably you are in this room. And yes, I will add another AI conversation to this lot. But I will do it a bit like my colleagues before. I will do it with a specific side. I want to share the experience of SNCF Connect and Tech in implementing and using AI, not only to show off, but also to help you with some inspiration on how this will change our industry in the future. But maybe before going deeply into AI, I want to introduce you briefly to SNCF Connect and Tech. It was mentioned that SNCF is a French railway, so I'm sure that most of you know SNCF. Some of you may know SNCF Connect, at least I would say the French people in the room and our frequently visiting neighbors. But I'm almost sure that very few of you know SNCF Connect and Tech. SNCF Connect and Tech is a company, is a subsidiary of SNCF that was founded more than 25 years ago. In the very beginning of the internet, the e-commerce area, and we were created first as a distribution e-commerce platform. But today, we are a company with 3 core businesses. One is obviously the distribution side, SNCF Connect. So we have a website, an app. This is, by the way, the most important vehicle for our distribution. We have more than 17 million customers for the year 2025 only, more than 26 million users over 2025, more than 1.6 billion visits over 2025, and we sold, as you can see here on the screen, we sold more than 233 million train tickets over last year. But we also have 2 other tech businesses. We are providing tech solutions to industry players, and we are also building innovative solutions for players in the industry. First of all, the SNCF group, but not only. So you may imagine, for a company like SNCF Connect and Tech, company that I have the privilege to lead today, you may imagine how artificial intelligence created at the same time tremendous opportunities and also incredible challenges. It's all the more important that we have a specific role in the ecosystem, especially in France. We are known, with those figures, we are known as the web, the e-commerce platform for the French people. We are known as the very first platform on which French people have used their credit card for the first time. And so we are a trusted partner for them. So AI was a real challenge for us, and something that we could not ignore. And we looked at it and thought and were convinced that we need to address that with 2 things. Ambition first, but also caution because of our place in the ecosystem. we were thinking about it a little bit like, you know, the Peter Parker's Uncle Ben in Spider-Man. With great power comes great responsibility. We gave this motto our own twist. We said, dare to experiment, because innovation is in our DNA, but deploy with care, because we have a responsibility toward our customers. And so today, what I want to share with you is 3 examples of what we are doing. It's just 3 examples. It's not exhaustive at all. And it's 3 examples at different stages of maturity. So let's start with the first one. The first one is something live, as you can see here. It's an AI-enabled chatbot. But it did not start as an AI-enabled chatbot. It started first as an AI-enabled platform that we developed for our customer advisors. We help them find more quickly the information, understand better the question of the customers, and it improved really the way they responded. It improved really their working condition, their efficiency, and so quickly we started to implement that into our chatbot and into what our users and our customers are able to interact with. The idea was really to make our customers autonomous as much as possible. We are a digital platform. We don't want, as much as possible, people relying on travel agents or human advisors to book their own tickets. And so, very quickly, we were able to measure the impact for our customers. You have some of them on the screen, but apart from those figures, 95% of the people that interact with our chatbot today don't need the assistance of a human or don't need any further assistance from our team. We improved, thanks to this AI-enabled chatbot, we improved our customer satisfaction on written channels by 20 points. As you can see, we were able to measure the usefulness from a user standpoint, and we more than doubled the usefulness compared to our previous chatbot. And this has been recognized as well externally, because as you can see on the right side of the screen, for the 3rd time in a row, SNCF Connect has been recognized in France as the Client Service of the Year, and it was in last November. So maturity. Here we have a deployed feature fully used by your customers, but also by our teams in our call centers. Now, moving into experimentation, so another example, something that you've seen in the Skyscanner example. We all know in this room, I'm sure, that LLMs has changed the way people are searching for their travel, are getting inspired, are planning their travel. And we wanted to enter that space with an app, as you can see here, an app in ChatGPT, for 2 reasons. One, we need to understand how the users will play with such apps and how it will change the way they understand, the way they book, the way they accept some of the offers that we are able to make. That's one element. Second element, we wanted also to challenge our teams, because this is a real challenge for teams. What you see here is comparable to what you can see on our website or on our app. Of course, we are still selling train tickets, but it has a different flavor and some different features. So we wanted also to challenge the teams on how to think in a chatbot, in an LLM environment. So this, for the moment, what you see on the screen is a demo. We have submitted the app. It might be live as we speak right now, and you can see that it's available on the web and on the app as well. Third example, I promised you 3 examples. Third example, very different, a test and learn approach with the ecosystem. We think that AI can help us solve questions that we haven't solved for the moment. Because what we've seen in the other 2 examples are issues that we've already solved. We had already a chatbot, we had already a customer relationship team, we already had a booking experience. But we have questions that we have not solved yet. So we started last year a group with Meta, Hugging Face, Station F. Station F is an incubator in Paris, and HEC Paris, which is a business school. And we are working on AI solution with startups. We selected our startups end of last year. We have 5 startups in our program, and I will give you the name, by the way. And as you can see, those startups are looking at issues that we have not solved yet for the moment. I will give you a few examples. Orion is a startup working on solving problems for visually impaired users. So something quite new, something that we still need to work on to have to make mobility accessible to a maximum of users. And you have also, for instance, Rayon Libre, who is working on better planning bikes in stations when you arrive from anywhere. As you can see with those 3 examples, AI is nothing new, is part of our life and it's here to stay. And whether I like it or not, and whether I like buzzwords or not, AI will continue to reshape mobility, reshape travel, reshape all of our lives. But I want to leave you with one thought. We are often told, and we were told earlier on this stage, especially by Google, that AI will change everything. Okay, at SNCF Connect and Tech, we also believe that AI will change everything, but only if we use it with purpose. If not, honestly, it will be another distraction. And so our responsibility as leaders, as industry leaders, travel, mobility, travel agencies, it's really to not follow the wave, but to shape it, to decide where AI will create value. That's the reason why I was talking about issues that we've not solved yet. And so we need to decide really where AI creates value, to make innovation not just fast, but meaningful, not just powerful, but useful, not just impressive, but trusted. It's very important for us, trust. And what we've built so far, what I've shown you, is only the beginning. And because the future of mobility won't be defined by technology alone, it will be defined by the choices we make. AI gives us really extraordinary capabilities, but it is our vision and our collective ambition that will turn those capabilities into real progress. At SNCF Connect and Tech, we choose a future where mobility is smarter, more sustainable and more accessible for everyone, or for all. And we choose to build that future really step by step. Thank you. I think I'm right on time.
A railway which is on time, which is not so usual in Germany. No, thank you so much. I'm Pruvot, and we do a very quick wrap-up. I'd like to welcome again Sergio and Pierro. So it's one question. It's a human one, just because we want to stay human. So you already mentioned the complexity you have. You also talked about the experimental work you're in, which is also maybe not the first approach for a state-owned railway. How has your job changed? Is it getting more easy or more complex within the AI times now?
Short answer, more complex.
Yeah.
Long answer.
No, we take the short one.
No, very quickly, long answer. We have more channels. This is not replacing anything. This is adding. We have more issues to take into account, as I was mentioning. And this is a good thing because we are acquiring potentially new customers or accommodating new customers. And we have new challenges for the team.
Sure. Pierro, a quote from you: AI isn't a threat, it's a catalyst. And after you said this, you showed the full complexity of the AI within your program.
Yes.
So how is it for you? Is it getting easier or is it getting more complex for
It's
you?
definitely getting more complicated.
Yes, thank you.
And for me, but not for our travelers. For our travelers,
Yes.
it's getting easier.
It's the same for you. You said you break down the complexity for your B2B partners, for the customers. How about yourself?
Okay, I will give the short answer. I would say more fun.
More fun.
More fun.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
definitely more fun.
So let's stay funny together, and thank you so much, Sergio Golas, Pierro Sierra, and Anne Pruvot for these insights. Welcome back next
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.